this, you completely become what I just talked. This is our true self. This is our true self. When I say this, you just become that. See, there is no different rule, no difference, no separation, no discretion at all. When I say this, you just become this. This is your action. This is your action. When I say this, see, think about what people just think about. When I say this, that's kind of a crazy and just talks like this. This is a completely misunderstanding. You see, that's reason. See, this and this is a completely separated. See, that is not. This is not true. When I say this, you just become this. This is not my action, my activity. That is your activity, your activity, your activity, your activity. This is very hard to understand, even in a concept. But this is the most important thing to realize, to realize who you are. See, when I say this, you just become this. This is not my activity, your activity. See, that's much. That's much people are just simply just the sincerely misunderstanding who they are. You see, well, any activity, any action just occurring right now is your activity, your own activity, not others, not others. Every activity, every action is your activity, your action. See, none of others, none of others. This is most important thing. That's the reason the Shakyamuni Buddha or Patriarchs just mentioned about we are the master of the universe. You see, we are master of universe. See, each person is a master of the universe. Hi. That's these things we have to just realize. Otherwise, we never be the completely satisfied with us. See, this is the most important thing. Then now we go back to text number 19. Number 19. Preaching. See, as I just mentioned about, when I say this, you see, when I say this, you just become what I say. See, there is nobody who just listen to, who just talk to. There is nobody there. See, what people thinking about, Jinen just talked this. Then we just listen to what he just said. This is a creation of a thinking of a thought. These things just happen in your mind. These things just happening in your mind. That is nothing concerned with what's going on here. See, what the truth is, what the fact is. When I talked this, you just become this. There is nobody. There is no one who just listen to, who just talk to. There is nobody. There is no one there. This is Dharma. This is a fact of right now, right here. None of what we just think about ourselves. never intervene, never exist. Right now, right here. This is the Shakyamuni Buddha's revelation, realization. See? So that what we just thinking about ourself or the self never exists. See, never exists. Those things just come up only in your mind. When you just think about that kind of idea of the self just come up in your mind, then you just recognize it. Then you just recognize a kind of person, a kind of person. You just think of yourself or the self. That moment, only that moment, just come up, then disappear. Before that kind of idea was thinking just come out, or after the idea of thinking just came out. There is no one. There is nothing concerned with self at all. Before and after. Excuse me, I just missed it. See, the moment the idea just come out as the self or the yourself. At that moment, see, you'll be able to recognize a kind of person. You might say the self or yourself, but before that kind of idea come out, or after that kind of came out, nothing else, nothing other what you think about the self or yourself exists. The only kind of idea come out in your mind, then you just record, that's it. Before or after, that kind of the person never exists. This is a very important. So today's the text. Today's description is number 19, preaching. So as I just mentioned about when I just talked to you, or when I just clap my hands, something like this, it just become this sound. It just become this sound. This is your truth. This is your true self. You see, not what you what thinking about yourself is not exist. You see, this. Then see, when I just clap everything, then you just become this sound. Then what you think about the self just come out. Or you might say, at that moment, the universe come out in the disappear. You see, this kind of the fact is entirely different from what the kind of a Dr. Einstein or Dr. Hawkins just thinking about the kind of the theory, entirely different. That's those theories are just creation of a thinking also. That kind of never exists. Never exist. Okay. So what are the Gyan mentioned about preaching? Preaching is not to listen to others' word. See, as I just mentioned, when I just say something like this, then you just recognize, or before you recognize what the other Jinen just said. But before you recognize that, you completely become what I say. And this is your true self. Then you just recognize it. And Jinen just talked something like this. That's That's the creation, or that's the delusion of the thinking or thought. That is not the truth. The truth is when I say this, you just become this. This is our true self. Preaching is not to listen to others' words, to taste yourselves what you is the state of preaching. This is, see, you just taste your own self. See, when I say this, you just become this. Then you'll be able to just taste what the true self is. Oh. Being so, it is say the reason of the reason of the real nature. The reason of the real nature is that you cannot breathe, blowing the borrowing, blowing, excuse me, brace, borrowing the other's nose. See, we are just, we just simply act. We simply act with our own function of the six senses. See, when we just smell, we just use nose. When we just see, we just when we see the things, we just use the eyes. When we hear the sound, we just use it. But even we don't know much about whether we just use those six senses or not. Simply just acting without awareness, without knowing anything. See, we don't know much about what kind of the senses just acting. We don't know much about without awareness. Without awareness, everything just something like just acting and finish. So it's hardly to just recognize what kind of sense are just acting. But we don't need to know or understand it. See, as I just always mention about, when I just face this, I just become this. I just become this. See, so I just become this one itself. Itself never recognize what it is. See, itself never understand or need to understand what it is, because of it is as it is. See, also it's impossible to recognize what it is because of it is as it is. See, so without awareness, without knowing, without understanding anything, we can just act right now. We're just acting right now. See, this is very hard to understand. How do you understand? See, what I say in concept, in thinking. See, that's much our activity, our action, our existence, nothing concerned with thinking or thought or concept. Nothing concerned with them. See, then we just, this is Dharma. This is Dharma. Nothing concerned with thinking or thought, but Dharma activity, you may say. See? Being so, it is said, the reason of the real nature. The reason of the real nature is that you cannot breath borrowing the other noses. Everyone in each human being absolutely breathes themselves with their nose. What are they again? Just want to mention? Are they teachers? What teachers? What do people just think? What people thinking about our activity or action is because we think about we want to do, we should do, then we'll be able to act. We'll be able to do. This is a complete misunderstanding. When you think about what we have to do, what we should do, then finish. Then act without what we are thinking about. This is truth, though. This is truth. But what people just thinking about, as I just mentioned, because we just thinking about what we should do, what we want to do, then we'll be able to do, we can do through what we just thinking about. So this is totally misunderstanding. Totally misunderstanding. When you think about what you want to do, then finish. That kind of stage, kind of thing that's completely disappeared. Then simply just act without what you just thinking about what we have to do. This is the truth. This is a fact. These things we have to realize. Otherwise, a kind of thinking or thinking about sort of always just chase you, but also you just wanna follow. You just wanna follow a kind of thinking about thought. But although I don't deny the thinking of thought, but thinking thought is not fact, not true, not reality, because as I always mention about, see, as long as you just recognize the things, see, there is at least there is two things just happen, two things, two matters happen. One is the things being recognized. The other one is a person who just recognize. Otherwise, you never be able to recognize these things. See, two things. But this is not true. This is not true. Before you recognize this and the kind of what you're thinking about as a self never exists. Never exists. No, never exists means no separation between that and this, no separation. So that you never be able to aware of that and this. You see? Then you just recognize. Then you just recognize this. At the same time, you recognize this thing. Then two things just happen. Then you just recognize this. This is a kind of trick. This is a kind of trick. This is not a truth. The thing is when you just see this, you just become dead. No separation at all. Then you just recognize this. Then kind of separation just occurred. Then you'll be able to just recognize this. Then at the same time you recognize this. Then you think kind of idea, what you're thinking about, the self or yourself just come out. Before you recognize this never exists at all. Hi. This is a very important thing. That's the reason Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs just recommended us to do zazen. Only zazen. You'll be able to just realize this. Only zazen. None of others, but only zazen. you'll be able to just encounter through yourself. That much zazen is very important. So what and how things happen, it should not be the matter of the others. You see what people thinking about, as I just mentioned, when you face this, you just become this. Then you just recognize this and that and this and completely separate. Then you just think you just think of that is the others. This is the self. This is a totally misunderstanding. You see, before you recognize the things, that there's no separation, no oneness. And this is our truth. That's the reason. That's the reason we want to just ask you to do that. It should not be the matter of others. It looks like I'm talking, but in fact, my voice is with you, which is each your own look, each your own activity, your own activity, not my activity, your own activity. The Dharma is, excuse me, okay. The Dharma is in action as a Dharma itself. The great way is in action as a great way itself. See, always oneness, always. But see, when it just become dead. See, no separation at all, no separation. This is Dhamma. This is a great way. That's the Shakyamuni Buddha realized what the truth is. This is true ourselves. This one. See, simply you just become dead. This is your truth. It is a big matter of life. This is the most important thing. The most important things for us to realize, to do. See, this is the most important thing. Because what people thinking about the totally misunderstanding. See, what people thinking about never existed. See, that's the reason. That's the reason. This is Shakyamuni Buddha or Patriarchs just recommend us to the Zazen. As I just mentioned, only Zazen, you'll be able to just realize who you are. Where is it? There is a look that it is being carried out, carried without the self, without self. Everything just happening. Everything just happening. Everything just acting. Everything just doing without self, without what we think about ourselves as the self, without the self. This is the truth. What you just thinking about the things or the activities just happening with self is totally misunderstanding. There is no one. There is no one who just acting, who is just acting, who is just doing. There is no one. Completely people misunderstand who they are. When I clap my hand or something like that, when I clap my hand, you inevitably became as such clap. Sound itself, inevitably such, this sound. This teaches This shows us there is no separation, no discretion between sound and what we think about the self. No separation because one. You see, what we thinking about the self never be able to intervene. No, without intervention of the self, we are just acting. This is a very important thing. See, when I clap my hand, you inevitably became as such. Clap sounds itself. What do you say to this? What people say think about? Oh, that's crazy. That's a crazy thing. Clap his hand. Then sound come out. This is totally misunderstood. See, that's the sound of your true self. Your true self, the sound itself. Oh, it is the original face. Original face now, our true self. Just this one. Not this one, not this one. There is no other place to go like this. Whenever you go, wherever you go, whenever you do anything, whatever you do anything, see, when it just become this. These are the function or action. Only there is this function or action or activity. That is none of others. What people think about this and this and this. That's only just happening in your mind. Nothing concerned with what we are doing right now. What's going on right here. Nothing concerned. Okay. You want to become such, which is a problem. Well, this is the problem of the in case problem. In case you just wanna practice, in case you just wanna just realize who you are. See, when I say, you want to become such, which is there is no other place to go like this. So you just become this. You just become this. You just become. When I say so you just try to become that. This is not a true the practice. No? You don't need to do it because before you just wanna just try to or intended to be what to do. You already kind of you already acted kind of action. See, so you don't need to do you don't need to try to do it. You see, you've already kind of person who just acted exactly what Guy just mentioned. So you don't need to do it. Simply just an idea. You wanna try to do. You wanna try to be. That's kind of idea. Simply you just throw them away as this is enough. That's again. Those things you just mentioned about you wanna become such, which is a problem. So you don't need to do it. What you have struggled on practice for a long time is that this one thought. You just want to become. You just want to do. See, this is still within the thinking or thought. See, as long as you just try to do it, you never be able to just realize who you are. Just simply throw them away. Throw them away as the thinking was within the thinking. So what you have, this one. what you have struggled on practice for a long time is that this one thought, wanting to become as such happened, and you have been in their condition which is beyond help. Totally useless. Totally. You don't need to do it. Simply, what kind of, whatever just thinking or so just come up in your mind. Simply throw them away as the, let's go, then on as the, this is enough. This is Zazen. This is Zazen. The Shakyamuni Buddha or the patriarchs just recommend us to do. Yeah, this is a very important thing. Okay, just listen. Just listen to the others word correctly at it. See, you don't need to you don't need to try to listen to the others word correctly as it is. See, as I mentioned about, we've already done it. We are always doing like this, always like this. See, then you just recognize what I say. Then, as I just mentioned, you just try to do it. So this isn't. This is totally useless. You don't need to do it. You've already done it. So that's the kind of idea, kind of you want to try to do it. You want to try to do it. This kind of thinking. So just slow down. Slow down. See? So you, you've already done it. So that you just become the person or become activity what the again she mentioned. You see, you don't need to try. You don't need to try to do it though. But the people just want to do it. That's the reason. The people just take a long time to just realize who you are. Simply any kind of whatever thinking also. This is a thinking also. That thinking also is not true because discretion between things and the self. Otherwise, you never just recognize the things. You never just think of anything. Separation. This separation causes trouble. This separation causes us through only this separation. So that's simply, that's reason simply you just forget about what whatever just thinking or thought has come up in your mind. Simply just forget about is just throw them away. Let's go all as the this is totally enough. This doesn't. We would like to just recommend you to do. Then someday, hopefully someday soon, hopefully someday soon, you'll be able to just recognize who you are, realize who you are. That's much constantly, or continually, you just do something. This kind of diligent, the desire or demand. If you have, you can do it. Just listen to others' word correctly as it is, not to group for, not look beneath the surface, not chase after. You should become the person to hear and take others' word literally. Kind of expression, kind of explanation. Again, that's just they describe or mention our teachers. But the thing is, We are just, we've already or always been doing this way. See, because our existence is not what kind of we just thinking about the self, what we thinking about the human being or the man. We are existence. We are existence of a Dharma, completely different, completely different. See, as long as far as Dharma, it's as Zen Master Dogen just described or mentioned or teacher us that we are complete and universal, complete and universal. Not what we are thinking about ourselves. We are complete and universal. So we don't need to do anything. So we don't need to do anything. See, because we are complete and universal. See, these things is the most important things to just recognize in even in concept. Then, oh yes, wow, because we are just complete and the universe, so we don't need to do anything. This kind of understanding, see, at least at least necessary. Then you just do zazen. See, then we are just completely universe. So that whatever just thinking was to come out, you just throw them away as the because we are complete and the universe. We don't need to take care of them, or we don't need to just deal with what kind of figure out what it is. It's not unnecessary because we are complete and the universal. See, this doesn't. Would like to ask you to do. Then, as I just mentioned, definitely someday you will just encounter to yourself. This through yourself is entirely different from what you're thinking about yourself. Entirely different. Hi. Okay. Maybe time is up. The Yamaga sensei will be all right. Anymore.
Right.
Okay. So today is the final day. Today is the final day in the session in November. So maybe 1 month interval or distance until I just see you. But the meanwhile, I would like to ask you whenever you're free, I would like to ask you to do zazen. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour will be all right. The time is not a matter of a problem. But sincerely, you just sit. Sincerely sitting. Sincere sitting is whenever, whatever, just thinking also to come out, just throw them away. As this is sincere or honest sitting. See, only this is enough. See, if you don't have any time, because 1 minute, 2 minutes will be all right. Just sit every day, constantly, continually. Then someday you'll be able to encounter your true self. Hi. That's